guys, it's Mo, and this is the first part in a 3-part video series that's going to be going up this week on some books that I'm really excited for that I'm planning on trying to get to in 2020. So today we're going to be talking about 12 of the books that are all classics that I'm trying to get to for this year. There's a million different classics that I want to get to eventually, but these are, as of this moment, the top 12 that I am looking forward to the most and that I want to really prioritize getting to this year. These are not going to be in any particular order, but let's just get right into them. So the first two are kind of related. They are both the Mina Lima interactive editions of classics. So the first one is The Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. I love all the little interactive elements that are included in these editions of classics, and I also have The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, and so I'm hoping to get to both of these. Both of these I've seen the movies for from Disney, but I haven't actually read the books behind them. I did read, I think it was in either end of 2018 or beginning of 2019, I read the Beauty and the Beast edition of this classic, and I really had a good time reading that, so I'm looking forward to reading these two. Next, we have a book that I tried many times to get to in 2019 and just did not make it. It made my 19 of 19 books. It made my list of 19 books I was trying to get to in 2019, and I did not get to it. So we're going to try again with this one, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. This is a gorgeous edition of this book with the gold foil edges and everything, and this one is a hard sci-fi novel. It's the first in a series, I believe, and I was really excited to get to this book, but then I started hearing so many people that tried to read it, that even people that are really into sci-fi, and they did not like it. So that kind of scared me away from this book, to be honest, a bit, but I still want to give it a chance and see if maybe it's something I do end up enjoying. The same goes for this book. I tried to get to it in 2019, it just didn't happen, and that's The Little Drummer Girl by John le Carre. I wanted to read this so that I could watch the miniseries adaptation that came out, so I still haven't watched that adaptation because I am definitely one who wants to read the book first before I watch any type of movie or TV show adaptation. One book I'm hoping to get to for the month of January for sure is Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. This book is almost 800 pages, but I have a feeling it will be worth it and that I will enjoy every page because I read North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, and that one was a pretty long book too. I think it was somewhere around 600 pages, and it just flew by. I haven't read a book that long that fast in a long time, so I am not really that scared going into this book, even though I know it most likely will take me a minute just because it's so long. I just have high faith that Elizabeth Gaskell will deliver. I have heard good things about Wives and Daughters as well, so that's why this one is going to be read in January. It's definitely like a #1 priority. Next, we have Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. This book I've owned for so long, probably like 6 or 7 years, and I have not read it. I want to buy a nicer edition of this book, but I feel like reading the this edition, specifically the mass market paperback, will be the most easy readability, and then I will reward myself if I finish this book by buying I think I want the Penguin cloth bound edition, but I'm not going to buy it until I have read this one because there's no point in it just sticking around forever. I haven't watched the movie for this one, and I really want to because a lot of my friends have really loved that musical, but I am definitely sticking to reading the book first, so I need to read this. It's just so long. It's 1,400 pages. Oh my gosh, and it's in this super tiny mass market edition. I have no idea when in the year I'm going to get to it, but this just needs to happen. Some of you might not know just because I haven't mentioned it really recently, but I really love John Steinbeck, and I was reading a lot of his books for a while, but then I didn't want to finish them all, so I kind of took a break, but I want to get back to finishing the ones I have left, and so I want to read next The Grapes of Wrath. I have read East of Eden. What else have I read? Canary Row, Sweet Thursday, and I think there's some other ones too, but I can't remember at this moment. Oh yeah, The Pearl. And so I want to read Grapes of Wrath next. It's one of his longer novels, so I'm looking forward to that. I really like his writing. I don't know, there's just something about John Steinbeck's writing I just am really into, and The Grapes of Wrath is the next one of his I'm gonna get to. This book cost more to ship it than the actual book itself costs, but definitely worth it because it's a beautiful book, and that's The Black Tulip by Alexandre Dumas. I had to order this one from the Waterstones in Germany, I think it was, or Amsterdam, and this one is by the same author who wrote The Phantom of the Opera, which I need to do a reread of because I read that book so long ago. I hadn't thought about reading another book from that author until I came across this edition from the designer Coralie Bickford-Smith on Instagram, and I just had to have it. I mean, even the end papers are so beautifully designed, as always, as all of her books are. I haven't even really looked too much into what the plot of this book is, but it looks like it describes it as a historical novel full of love, jealousy, and obsession, interweaving I can't read or speak today. Interweaving the true story of the brutal murder of two Dutch statesmen with the phenomenon of tulip mania that gripped Holland in the 17th century. So that's cool. I didn't know it was set around that time. I do like books set around that whole tulip mania time, so this one will be hopefully a good read. Now looking at all the books that I chose, I feel like, did I purposely choose like the most gigantic classics that are on my shelves? Because next we have Middlemarch by George Eliot, and wow, another huge book. This one is almost 900 pages. I'm going to definitely need to be using audiobooks to help me get through all of these because it's just going to be ridiculous if I don't. So this one is probably, I just love this book so much. It's like probably my favorite of the penguin cloth bound designs that they've come out with. It just is so pretty. I don't know too much about this classic, but I know that a lot of people love it. It's a much loved classic for sure, and that's all I need to know. I don't want to go into this book knowing too much. I feel like I say that a lot, and it's true. I even like not classics, I prefer to not go into books knowing too much. So I'm just gonna quickly go through the last three, and they're all in the same editions. These are the Chiltern edition of classics. These are so beautiful. So we have three books here that I feel like are some of the most talked about classics of all time, so I figured it was about time that I got to reading them. So the first one is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Once again, I chose the most gigantic books I could find on my shelves apparently for this challenge. And this one's a little bit over 500 pages. I haven't read any of Charles Dickens' works before. This will be my first one. If I do like his writing, then I'm thinking about buying the set from Penguin Clothbound that comes with all of his works in it. And we have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I haven't read anything by either of the Bronte sisters, so I had to include on here Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This book is so many people's favorite book of all time, favorite classic of all time, and I just need to know what's going on in these stories because they're referenced so many times, not just by people talking about them in videos, but in other literature and stuff as well. So I feel like it wouldn't hurt to know what these stories are all about. So those are the top 12 classics that I am hoping to get to in 2020. Have you guys read any of these? Which ones should I prioritize? We'll see. I have no idea. Like, the only thing that scares me about this challenge is that the books are so long, but I think other than that we'll be fine. I mean, I chose 12 specifically so that I only need to read one a month, so I feel like that's pretty doable. Like, it's nothing crazy or anything. And yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe. For the rest of the week, I'll be posting another video on Wednesday and another video on a Friday of some other books that I'm hoping to get to during this year. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!